Welcome to the operating system class. In this video, we are going to learn about the Linux remote. What is Linux remote? Running a computer with the Linux OS from another computer running Linux OS and non-Linux. So it means you will remote the Linux OS from your Windows operating system or another operating system which is non-Linux operating system. Why Linux remote? Many servers, computers running Linux OS, and it is not possible to always run the server computer directly. So if you have a computer server, then you place that computer in in a room or in another place, not in your home. Then when you want to remote that computer, yeah, you can just remote from anywhere, right? So yeah. Uh, Computer OS, computer server is basically it's not placed in your home, but it is placed in another place in your office maybe. Then you want to remote that operating system, then you can remote it everywhere when you have an internet connection like that. Tools remote Linux. Linux remote methods can be divided into remote terminal and visually remote directory using WinSCP, and for the remote terminal we can use PuTTY, and visually remote, another visually remote, it's TeamViewer, so we will remote the screen of the operating system. But basically if you want to just remote the terminal, because you know that when we use operating system, when we use Linux operating system, actually we always interact with the remote terminal, right? So if you just want to remote the terminal of that operating system, of that Linux operating system, you can just use PuTTY. But if you want remote visually, you can use WinSCP or TeamViewer. So PuTTY, WinSCP, and TeamViewer is can be run from the Windows operating system. Then when you want to remote the directory, you know, the directory of the WinSCP of the Linux operating system, we can use WinSCP. But if we want to visually remote the screen from the Linux operating system, we can use a TeamViewer. But in this course, in this video, I just present about the PuTTY and WinSCP. And for your homework, you need to try to remote the Linux operating system by using the TeamViewer. Linux Remote Connection Protocol. Linux Remote Connection Protocol is using SSH. So before we go through about the SSH protocol, we need to know about the SSH. What is SSH? SSH is a short for Secure Shell, which is a network protocol that uses cryptography to communicate data on network devices to make it more secure. In concept, the use of SSH must be supported by a server or client computer or device that exchanges data. So basically, if we connect to the Linux operating system using the SSH protocol, the SSH is make a guarantee to us to make a secure connection. Then this is the picture of the SSH protocol. When you want to remote the server by using the SSH protocol, the SSH will encrypt your data. Your connection will be encrypted, and SSH allows encrypting data so that malicious possibilities cannot access user information and passwords. So the data that you send to the server will be encrypted by the secure shell. And as you can see like here, SSH runs at the TCP or IP layer via port 22. Yeah, it's similar with the HTTP. When you run the HTTP protocol, HTTPS, I mean, it's run in port 443. But for the SSH, it runs on port 22. PuTTY is an open source application utilizing the SSH and Telnet network protocols. And PuTTY is mostly used by server owners to communicate with their servers using text commands to execute certain commands. So PuTTY is running on Windows operating system. And when you want to remote your Linux operating system, you can use the PuTTY tools on your Windows operating system, but you only remote the terminal, not visually remote the screen of your Linux operating system, but you just remote the terminal of your Linux operating system. And you can download PuTTY from this link, www.putty.org. Then you need to install on your Windows operating system. And as you can see right here, this is the PuTTY application. All you need to do is just typing your Linux operating system IP. Then because we are using the SSH protocol, you need to type the 22 on the port textbook. Then you need to press the open button. So yeah, first you need to download the PuTTY application. Then yeah, PuTTY is only available on Windows operating system. As you can see right here, yeah, you can download it depends on your operating system. If you are running on the 32-bit Windows operating system, you need to download the 32-bit version. But if you are running on 64-bit Windows operating system, you need to download this version. Then because of my operating system, my Windows operating system is running on 64-bit, so I download the 64-bit version. Then you need to install. You just need to run the MSI file. Okay, run. Yeah, because I have installed the PuTTY tools on my Windows operating system, so I can just skip this step. Okay. Okay, finish. Then, yeah, before you run PuTTY to remote your Linux operating system, you need to make sure that you have installed the SSH, right? The SSH package on your Linux operating system. So I will show you my terminal, my Linux operating system. Then I need to make sure that SSH package have installed in my Linux operating system. So you need to open your terminal. Then you need to type the sudo space apt-get install SSH, because by default on your Linux operating system, on your Ubuntu OS, it's not installed in the SSH, so you need to install the SSH package on your Ubuntu operating system. Then yeah, you can just type sudo apt-get install SSH to type your password. Because I already installed my SSH in my Ubuntu operating system, so I don't need to install it again. So if you have not installed the SSH, you need to run this command sudo apt-get install SSH. Then you need to know about your Ubuntu OS, your Linux operating system IP address. As you can see right here, for knowing your IP address, you can just type ifconfig on your terminal. Then I need to know my IP address. So my IP address is 192.168.1 and 16. Then I need to type my IP address to my PuTTY. But before we remote our Linux operating system, you need to make sure that you set this network. So I open my VirtualBox manager, then I will go to the settings menu. Then you need to make sure on your network you attach to bridge adapter. So by default, when you install the VirtualBox on your Windows operating system, it will attach to the network, but you need to change to the bridge adapter, because if you choose the network, so you have a two different network. The first network in your Windows host and the second network is on your VirtualBox. So we need to bridge adapter for remote the Linux on the VirtualBox. So we can ping the IP address from the Linux operating system from our Windows operating system. Then after that, yeah, you will see that the IP address is 192.168.1 and 16. If you choose the network, the IP address is not what it's not 192 but 10, maybe 10, 151 and etc. But you need to make sure that you have set to the bridge adapter. So after you set that network, we can just test to ping our IP address from the Linux operating system. So I will open my CMD. Then I need to make sure that my Linux operating system, I can ping the IP address from Windows operating system. So I will try to ping my IP address on my Linux operating system 192.168.1 and 16. Then yeah, it can be pinged from my Windows operating system. Then I need to back to my PuTTY. Then I will type my Linux IP address 192.168.1 and 16, and I need to make sure that the port for the SSH connection is 22. Then I will press the open button. Yeah, you can just press the yes button. And login as, it depends on your Linux operating system, user on your Linux operating system, because I only has one user on my Linux operating system as a Naufal. So I will type Naufal for login. Then I need to type my password. Okay, as you can see right here, it is successfully connected to my Ubuntu operating system. Like, then if I type the ls, so right now I am on the home now file directory, right? So I can just open my Ubuntu terminal or Linux or operating system terminal from my Windows operating system. And you can also open, maybe you want to open a directory on your Linux operating system. You can just change directory to the downloads. Then I'm sorry, downloads. Then right now I am in the home now file downloads directory, right? So you can do anything from your PuTTY terminal because it is connected to your Linux operating system. Okay. Okay. So yeah, in this slide, it is shown that right now I am in home now file directory. Then I want to see list of my directory or files in home now file. So yeah, I can back to the PuTTY again. So I want to clear the terminal first. Then maybe I will back to the home now file directory. Then I need to know the list of my directory on the home now file directory. Then yeah, as you can see, like it's similar with the screen the like this slide. So yeah, there are some directory in my home now file. Okay, the second tools for remote Linux operating system is WinSCP. WinSCP is an open source SFTP client and FTP client for Windows. The main function of WinSCP is to copy files between a local computer and a remote computer. The advantages of WinSCP are it is translated into several languages that Windows can digest, drag and drop URL and shortcut icon, and full graphical interface. And you can synchronize your directory in a semi or fully automatic way. So if we use the terminal, we can just doing some command from our terminal. But if you want to copy your files into your Linux operating system directly, maybe you want to copy from your Windows operating system into your Linux operating system, you can just use WinSCP. So because when we use WinSCP, we can just drag and drop, from our from your Windows operating system directory into your Linux operating system directory. So yeah, first you need to install the WinSCP tools. You can just type WinSCP on Google. Then you need to download. Depends on your operating system, because WinSCP is only available on Windows. So the current version is WinSCP 5.17.8. So I recommend you to download the latest version of the WinSCP tools. Then because I have already installed WinSCP on my Windows operating system, I can just open my WinSCP. Okay, sorry. WinSCP. Okay, it's similar with the FTP file transfer protocol. If you have try about the file transfer protocol, it's similar with the WinSCP, because we can transfer the files by using the WinSCP, like file transfer protocol. Okay, it's already open. Then okay. So yeah, we back to the slide again. So yeah, what is SFTP? SFTP is Secure File Transfer Protocol. It's an internet protocol that functions to upload and download files more safely. Why is it safer? Because SFTP is a combination of FTP and SGP. SGP, which stands for Secure Copy Function, to process data transfer using the SSH protocol. This is the process of uploading and downloading website files between the FTP server and the FTP client is safer because of the encrypted connection. So it also run on the SSH protocol, which is a 22, but it also support for the file transfer, right? Then I go back to the WinSCP. Yeah, I open too much. Okay, I will close some of my WinSCP. Okay. So yeah, this is the concept of the SFTP. It contains a server and client. Then when you want to copy your files into the server, you can use the SSH protocol. So enter the server hostname and port 22 when logging into WinSCP. So yeah, I will choose new session. Then I will delete my previous workspace first. Then I will create a new workspace. Then I will choose the SFTP protocol. Then for the hostname, you need to type your Linux IP address 192.168.1 and 16 maybe. I forgot. I will open the my Ubuntu first. Yeah, my IP is 192.168.1.16. So I will type on my hostname text box. Then I also need to type my username and password for my Linux operating system. Then I just log in. Okay, yes. So as you can see right here, on your right hand side, you will see the directory of your Linux operating system. But on your left hand side, this is the directory of your Windows operating system. So for example, I want to, maybe I want to uh, copy some files on my Windows operating system into my Linux operating system. I can just drag and drop. For example, I have a file, slide PPT3. This is the slide of my database programming course. So I will copy to my Linux operating system. Okay, press OK. Okay, so as you can see right here, I already copy my slide into my Linux operating system. So I want to check about this file on my Linux operating system. So right here, I are currently on home now file directory. So I will type ls-l. So as you can see right here, there is slide ppt3.pptx. This is the files that I copy from my Windows operating system. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, for your homework, you need to install the TeamViewer on Ubuntu operating system and visually remote from Windows computer. So you need to install the TeamViewer on your Linux operating system or Ubuntu operating system. Then after that, you also need to install the TeamViewer on your Windows operating system. Then you need to try to remote your Linux operating system from your Windows operating system visually, because as you can see, TeamViewer is a tool for remote a screen, right? You can you can screen remote by using the Windows operating system. Then you need to make a documentation in PPT format on your for your homework. Okay. Okay. Thank you for watching this video.